My whole life was based on a lie. I can't go back to the way things were.
A real man doesn't avoid hard things. He faces scarcity.
Will. Get dressed and buckle up, fool.
Yeah.
That was a clip from the second season of the highly successful Peacock series, Bel-Air, a reboot of the popular 90s series, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, made famous by A-lister Will Smith. But it got us thinking, what other black sitcoms deserve a reboot? I can think of some. Here to help answer that question, entertainment reporter for the Grio, Jared Alexander, and media personality, Tambra Cherie. Big thanks to you both for joining us. Tambra, I'll start with you. And then Jared, if you could make a new black sitcom reboot, which one would it be? Jared, the same question after Tambra.
This one was a toss-up for me because I will tell you guys, I love sitcoms. I would want to see A Different World because I grew up watching A Different World. I would definitely, and I went to an HBCU. I want to know, what are they doing now? Or did their kids go to an HBCU? And literally, and I had to, it was a tough one because I almost want to see Family Matters too, because I love that family dynamic. I would want to see the kids, the grandkids, and what they are doing now. So that was a toss-up, but A Different World for sure.
But Tambra, before we go to Jared, you said they're kids. No, it's grandkids. Actually, what are their grandkids doing? That's what it would be. I'm serious. Jared, do you?
For sure. Yes, the grandkids.
Jared, what do you think?
I gotta pick Sister Sister. I grew up on Sister Sister. I love that show.
Yes.
And I feel like Tia and Tamara, whenever they do any sort of interview, they're always asked. And I feel like it's right there. I want to see, you know, just like you just said with A Different World, maybe we're going to see Lisa as a grandmother. What's Roger up to? I want to see Tia and Tamara now. I want to see it. And I feel like they'd be both down for it.
Yeah, you know, I don't know, since you guys gave your take, I would love A Different World. I love the theme song. Jasmine Guy is actually in her 60s, believe it or not. And she was an older person when she was playing Whitley Gilbert. I cannot believe it. So, what are the other, what about Good Times? Damn. Black
We're getting an animated, there is an animated reboot of Good Times.
Go ahead, Jared.
Who would play Michael and who would play JJ?
For the animated one. I've always seen the trailer for the animated one. And that one, okay, so I can be the devil's advocate. I didn't like it, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you. I watch Good Times right now. My father actually watched Good Times when we see it come on to this day. He would not watch the animated series coming on Netflix. He wouldn't watch that one. I'm just going to be very honest with you. And I feel like now you see a lot of people, a lot of controversy about it because they're like, wait a minute, this is like the reboot of Good Times. It's a classic.
Mm-hmm.
What you say? It's
a very different
classic.
take,
Okay.
too.
All right.
Classic.
All right. Okay. Jared, networks have been successful with Bel-Air and The Best Man. Is this something networks and other sitcoms should consider, or Hollywood be able to come up with new ideas for shows like these?
Yeah, I mean, I think those are two really good examples. I think networks and streamers really need to kind of focus on maybe not necessarily rebooting, but maybe retooling and refreshing. I think Bel-Air is so successful because it has the bones of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, but it feels fresh, it feels new. You know those characters, but especially by the second season, I mean, it's kind of its own show in and of itself. And I feel like that actually has the bones for a show to grow, as opposed to maybe just a beat-by-beat reboot that it might feel good for an episode or two, but there may not be the longevity that I really do think we're going to get from a show like Bel-Air.
Yeah, they really hit the nail. I mean, it's really good. I love it. Especially on those weekends, you just want something mindless to do and you turn to that. But Tambra, let's talk about Girlfriends. I love that. Girlfriends through thick and thin. Fans of the show have been calling for a reboot or a movie to wrap up the show's loose ends. And the way I understand it, some of them didn't get along, right? But it's something with lead actress Tracee Ellis Ross, and she had to shut down the show because the creator, you know, they just had some differences and stuff, and they've been lobbying for it. But wasn't there kind of a clash between some of the actors in the show?
Yeah, like, okay, so this is the thing. I will be so honest because this is so ironic. For the last 2 weeks, I just started rewatching Girlfriends from season 1. So right now I'm on season 2. Not like I have not seen it before. This is probably about my 10th time watching it again. I love Girlfriends. I do. It's one of those shows and sitcoms I just love to watch. And you're right, because one of the young ladies, she actually left and she's not on the later episodes of the show. But I do feel like that's been years ago. It's been years. I would love to see the ladies come back and, like, you see kids, grandkids. I would love to see all of that, because if I'm not mistaken, on season 2, Joan was celebrating her 30th birthday. I want to see them in their 40s.
Right.
I want to see them as grown women right now and their families.
So, okay, we talked about that show, Girlfriends, but we cannot leave this segment without talking about Living Single, Jared. You know, what about Living Single?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is the blueprint. I feel like that show, we all love that show so much. And what I think is so beautiful about it now is that I really see online it's starting to get its flowers in terms of, you know, it being really the basis for Friends. I mean, between social media and the way that you can stream it now, people are really calling it out and being like, A, this show is amazing, it holds up, and B, it paved the way for so many other sitcoms. I personally would like to see, I know they had a reunion, I think, around 2008-ish, but not everyone was able to join. I would love to see that show get a reunion like the Friends cast did in 2021, where you get all them together, everybody, and you really can just kind of dive in, kind of really hit that nostalgia button. And also, again, give it its flowers, because that show it's everything.
It's everything. Give it its flowers. I love that. Jared and Tambra, stay with us. Still to come, your favorite show. If it doesn't get a reboot, what do you think? Should we see them on tour? Some of them are. Details next on the Grio Weekly.